What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be doing another Conquering Lufenia episode, this time focusing on the Lufenia fight for the upcoming Rude event on Global Opera Omnia. But before we talk about that, if you guys are brand new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. That way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. And if you guys enjoy what you see on this channel, hit that like button and share this video as it does help me out. Also, don't forget to check out the Tonberry Troops website, in particular their resources hub where you could navigate to the Lufenia research portion of their website. Here, you're going to find comprehensive guides for each and every Lufenia fight in Opera Omnia, what the orbs do, what boss abilities to watch out for, and also which recommended characters to take for these difficult fights. Lastly, I want to give a big thanks and shoutouts again to fellow DFFOO content creator VL, because the footage that you're seeing for the Rude Lufenia event comes from his video. Be sure to check that out in the video description as well as a pinned comment. He is a fantastic content creator. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Lufenia fight for the upcoming Rude event in Global Opera Omnia. Alright guys, so for the Rude event, we're going to be facing off against 3 masked monks. Now we're going to take a look at what the orb does first. So the orb starts off at the beginning of the battle. It's going to be at a 15 count. It's going to be disappearing at 79% HP threshold, and then it's going to be reappearing at 69%, but this time it's going to be at a 12 count. It's going to disappear again at 49%, and then it's going to reappear again at 29%, this time at a 10 count. Now there's no way to increase the orb countdown, however you can freeze it. All you got to do is make sure that each the bosses themselves are going to be either at 10k brave or less. So pretty much if you can consistently keep them broken, the orb is really nothing much to worry about. So just as long as you can do that, have some really strong DPS, you could deal with that. Now let's talk about the details of this boss fight that you need to pay attention to. So first of all, these bosses are going to be immune to thunder damage. So sorry Lightning, this is going to be one of those fights where you're probably not going to be brought to, since your element is going to be locked out. So don't be bringing Lightning to this, guys, because her element is going to be locked out. They're also going to be heavily resistant to ranged and magic type brave damage. So a lot of strong melee type characters are going to be very good for this. Just be careful if you're going to be bringing range and magic type. Be sure to have some sort of like an imperil enchant that's not thunder to be able to assist with that. And then they're also going to be immune to the lock debuff or the taunt debuff. So if you're going to be bringing tanks, just remember that you can't taunt these guys because they are going to be immune to it. Now, there's going to be a specific phase that you're going to be looking out for, and it has to do with the masks that they wear. So their masks are going to be changing color, and each of the colors represent a specific effect that these bosses get. So if they have the white mask on, they're going to be getting a brave regen. If they have the yellow mask on, they're going to be getting an HP regen. And if they have the red mask on, they're going to be getting both their brave and HP regen, and they're also going to get debuff immunity. Obviously, the most dangerous one is the red mask, and the safest one to have on is the white mask, because the brave regen is a lot easier to deal with than having an HP regen, but be sure to watch out if they have the red mask on. So there's going to be a rotation when it comes to dealing with these masks. So you have to break them in order to lower their mask. For example, if they have the red mask, you break them, it's going to turn to yellow. And then afterwards, if they have the yellow mask, you break them, it's going to turn to white. White, obviously, like I said, is the least threatening. Be careful if you're going to be breaking with a counter, because they will change the mask after you counter, making you unable to break them again. So you have to be aware of the rotation whenever you break them to change the color of the mask. So if you have somebody like Gladio, for example, who counters a lot, just keep in mind that, you know, he may or may not, you know, break the rotation that you kind of want to have for the specific masks to be active on these bosses. Now, during certain HP thresholds, they will automatically shift their mask. So they're going to shift from white to red, yellow to white, red to yellow. So specific HP thresholds, they're just going to automatically change the colors of their mask. So just keep in mind what the order is depending on what mask is active on each boss. Now, when one of them reaches the 69% HP threshold, and then when one of them again reaches the 29% HP threshold, they're all going to be gaining a brave shield. And now this brave shield is not a buff. So you can't be bringing Yuffie to steal it, because I know Yuffie was actually brought to the Sephiroth Heretic Lufenia because the bosses give themselves a shield that was a buff. This one is going to be an aura, so this particular brave shield has to be broken. You can't dispel it, you cannot steal it. So what kind of characters do you want to take for this particular fight? So AoE damage is going to be what you're going to want to do, and then as long as you're able to consistently keep their brave 10k or lower, or pretty much keep them broken, you don't really have to worry about the orb because you're going to keep it frozen. Gladio is going to be one of the best characters to use for this, even though he does have that counter, which may mess around with the rotation of the masks, depending on where you're at during the fight. However, the reason why he's so good is because his AoE damage from his counter really helps out. So that off-turn damage, again, is just so valuable for this particular fight. And then not only that, but remember, Gladio protects everybody, and also he has a debuff that he inflicts when he is applying that counter attack. You can also take a character such as Trey, because the arrow rain is really strong, and also remember, his debuff allows you to just automatically break them no matter how much brave damage that you deal. But remember, he is a range type character, so if you're going to be bringing Trey, make sure to bring somebody with an element that can enchant and imperil that's not the thunder element. Obviously, Rude and Kieran are going to be fantastic for this. They have powerful AoE damage, they are synergy, and then also both Rude and Kieran have some really strong auras, and then Rude also covers not only battery but healing, and he also has that really powerful mechanic where every time he crits, he's going to be healing you for like a ridiculous amount. So both of those characters are going to be good. Sephiroth is going to be synergy for this as well. And his burst effect, if you have his burst, is going to be crazy good for this fight because he's going to constantly be keeping it at 1. So if you have Sephiroth with his burst, very good character. Even without it, he's going to be really good because he does have that really strong debuff from his LD where he applies a increased brave damage dealt as well as a sap effect. And then if you're looking for other recommended characters to bring, Kuja's actually good for this, even though that they are heavily resistant to magic damage, because Kuja will have the holy element from his LD, and then afterwards he applies holy imperil from his skill 1, and then afterwards you're good to go. So he's going to be giving everybody the holy element, applying holy imperil, so then that way, even if you have damage dealers that are resisted, Kuja's there to help them out with that. And then you can also bring somebody like Arden, because Arden can just deal so many breaks with the amount of damage that damage that he deals, and also his skills and things like that. So if you have Arden, you can also bring him for that. And then another character that I do want to note that is going to be very good for this fight is actually Vivi, because Vivi will apply that imperil with his LD, and then afterwards the off-turn damage that he does, after he deals HP damage, is going to help out tremendously. And remember, Vivi is an AoE monster, and when you hit with this double fire command and then you trigger that follow-up effect, it's just a ridiculous amount of damage that he could deal. So Vivi is going to be another character that you could really consider bringing for this if you do have him fully built up. This Lufenia is not going to be as difficult as the last 3 that we saw. The mechanics aren't nearly as punishing, and the orb condition to keep it frozen is very manageable. It's a lot more tame, definitely, compared to the last 3 that we've seen. Just make sure you have powerful AoE damage. Take a look at your roster, see what you have. Again, just the characters that I suggested are going to definitely be helping you out there, but I know that with Global having the foresight, with us having the HP percentages, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some really creative teams for this one, because this one is going to be a lot more tame. But then again, this is going to be the conclusion of this Conquering Lufenia for Rude's upcoming event. Hopefully this helps you guys prepare for this Lufenia fight. Thank you guys again for watching. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahal, guys.